All right, so you're thinking about diving into the real estate market,
Oh, yeah.
but finding the right agent.
Yeah.
It's
Huge.
it can feel like a whole adventure in itself, right?
Absolutely. It's like trying to climb Mount Everest without a Sherpa.
And that's exactly what Real Estate Riches compares it to, this
Yeah.
idea of the agent as
Oh, they are key.
your guide through this crazy world.
100%. And it's not just about, opening doors and showing you houses.
Right.
It's about
So much more.
market knowledge, negotiation skills, all of it.
They even said something about being a therapist sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in this market.
Right, I believe it. It's emotional.
So much stress.
Yeah.
And one thing that really stuck with me from Real Estate Riches, they said before you even start looking at agents,
You really got to look inward,
absolutely.
understand your own needs, your own real estate personality, they called it.
Love that. Your real estate personality. Did you know yours the first time around?
Well, let's just say I've learned a lot since my first foray into the real estate jungle.
I feel that.
But they're right. Knowing whether you're buying or selling,
Huge.
what your budget is,
Mm-hmm.
what you're looking for in a property.
Makes all the difference.
It's like essential homework before you even start.
Exactly.
Real Estate Riches even said, if you're looking at luxury homes, investment properties, you need a specialist.
Oh, 100%. You wouldn't go to a general practitioner for brain surgery, would you?
Exactly. You
Yeah.
need someone who speaks the language of those
Right.
specific markets.
Right. Absolutely. You need someone who understands the ins and outs of that particular niche.
Okay, so you've done your homework, you've figured out your real estate personality.
Got it.
Now, how do you actually find these magical creatures, these perfect agents?
Right. Where do you even start looking? Well, it's not just about driving around looking for sale signs anymore.
Though, I have to admit, I still do that sometimes.
It's a habit.
Old habits die hard.
They do. They do.
But Real Estate Riches had some really interesting strategies for finding these agents.
Yeah. Like what?
Well, first off, they really emphasize the power of your personal network.
Oh, word of mouth is golden.
It's amazing how many people I know have found their agents just through
Yeah.
friends or family.
Referrals are everything.
It's true.
I mean, who better to trust than someone you already know and who's had a great experience?
Exactly, and they're not just trying to sell you something.
Right. They've been there.
They've actually worked with this person.
Exactly.
They've seen them in action.
And they're putting their own reputation on the line, too, by recommending them.
That's true. That's a good point.
So it's got to be good.
But beyond just asking your friends and family,
Yeah.
Real Estate Riches
Mm-hmm.
also talked about the digital world.
Of course. Got to leverage that online presence.
And it's not just about those big real estate platforms.
Right. Those can be overwhelming.
They can be overwhelming. There's so many options.
So many choices.
It's hard to know who.
Yeah, it's hard to sift through all the noise.
Exactly. So they recommend checking out local real estate websites, agents'
That is
social
cool.
media.
Ooh, social media stalking, my favorite.
Right. It's like a free preview.
It is. It is. You can get a sense of their personality,
See what they're about.
their style, how they present themselves, their track record, even.
Are they just posting selfies with sold signs, or are they actually sharing valuable insights?
Exactly. Are they giving you market updates, tips for buyers and sellers, or is it just a highlight reel of their successes?
Because that's a big one for me. I want to see that they actually know their stuff.
Oh, absolutely. You want someone who's on top of their game, who's providing value, not just bragging rights.
Right. And you can get a sense of that from their online presence.
Totally. It's like a window into their world.
So you've stalked them online. You kind of like what you see.
You've checked out their website, their social media. You've gotten recommendations from friends. Now it's time to go beyond the glossy photos and the catchy slogans
Yeah.
and really dig into those credentials.
Down to business.
Exactly. Real Estate Riches really emphasizes due diligence here,
Which means?
making sure they're legit.
You mean they're not just using their dog's name to get a realtor's license?
Exactly. You wouldn't hire a contractor without checking their license. Right.
Sure.
Same principle applies here.
So how do we do that?
Well, the podcast mentioned you can actually check your state's real estate commission website.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they often have databases where you can look up an agent's license status, see if there have been any disciplinary actions, that kind of thing.
That's good to know. I had no idea it was that easy.
It's public record.
Wow.
Knowledge is power, my friend.
That's amazing.
So you can do your due diligence, make sure they're the real deal.
Okay, so they're licensed, they're legit.
Yep.
What else should we be looking for?
Well, Real Estate Riches also stresses the importance of experience.
Okay, so how long have they been doing this?
Exactly. How long have they been in the game? Because experience really does matter in this field.
Okay, so what should we be looking for? A certain number of years.
It's not necessarily about a magic number, but it's about finding someone who's navigated different market cycles, who's seen the ups and downs.
So someone who's been through a few real estate rodeos.
Exactly. Someone who can handle the unexpected, who can anticipate challenges, and who has a wealth of knowledge to draw from.
And they also mentioned something about specialization within that experience,
Right,
right?
absolutely. Because real estate is not one size fits all.
Right.
You wouldn't go to a heart surgeon if you needed knee surgery, right?
Sure.
Same principle applies here.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you want to make sure they specialize in your type of property or your desired neighborhood.
Got it. So if I'm selling a condo downtown,
Right.
I don't necessarily want someone who specializes in...
Ranches in the suburbs.
Exactly.
Because the market is different, the buyers are different, the whole approach is different.
So we're looking for specialists, not generalists.
Exactly. You want someone who understands the nuances of that particular market, who knows the ins and outs, who has a network in that area.
So it's about finding that right fit, someone who gets you and your real estate goals.
Precisely. And once you've kind of vetted their experience, their credentials, then comes the fun part, the interview.
Okay, so we've done our homework.
We've done our research.
We've got our short list of agents with these glowing resumes.
Right. They look fantastic on paper.
Now what?
Time to put them in the hot seat.
Oh, is that what Real Estate Riches called it?
The agent interview.
Right.
Because it's an interview.
I'll admit, I've never really thought of it.
It's a two-way street.
As an interview, yeah.
Absolutely. You're interviewing them, they're interviewing you.
Because it's a partnership.
100%.
Right, like we were saying earlier. So it's not just about
It's about fit.
hearing their sales pitch.
You want to buy it.
Do you vibe?
Yeah.
Do your personalities mesh?
Seeing if this is actually going to
Because you're going to be in the trenches together
be good fit.
during what can be a very stressful time.
Work.
So yeah, the interview is crucial.
So what should we be asking? What kind of questions? Well, Real Estate Riches gave some great examples.
Okay.
Things like, what's your approach to buying or selling in this market?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right, because the market changes. It does.
Yeah.
What worked a year ago might not work today.
Especially now, right? Things are so unpredictable.
Exactly.
So understanding how they're adapting to
Their strategy.
the current craziness is important.
Yeah, are they staying ahead of the curve? Another good one is, how familiar are you with this specific neighborhood?
Oh yeah, that's a big one for me. I want someone who knows the area.
Absolutely, because local expertise is invaluable.
Like, do they know that the cute little bakery down the street is actually a front for?
Right, exactly. Or that the park you love is slated to become a parking lot.
Oh no.
You want someone who has their finger on the pulse of that neighborhood.
Those insider insights can make all the difference.
100%.
And I love that they also said, don't be afraid to ask for recent references.
Oh, absolutely.
Because everyone can give you a reference from 5 years ago
Exactly. You want to hear from people who've worked with them recently.
in this market.
Yeah, in the trenches.
See how they're handling things now?
Exactly, because that speaks volumes.
It's like checking their real-time track record.
You got it. So those are some great starting points.
Okay, so beyond the questions,
Yeah.
what else should we be paying attention to?
Pay attention to how they're answering your questions.
Oh, their demeanor, their
Their body language, their tone.
vibe?
Are they listening attentively?
Are they cutting you off?
Are they dismissive of your concerns?
Right, because that's a big one. I want someone who's going to actually listen to me
Absolutely.
and not just hear what they want to hear.
You want someone who values your input.
Right, because it's my money. It's my house.
Exactly.
It's a big deal.
It's your life. It's a huge decision.
So I don't want someone who's just trying to
You're not just a transaction.
rush me through the process.
Exactly. You want someone who's going to be a partner.
Okay, so we're vibing with them. We like their energy.
I'm feeling good.
They seem legit. They're answering our questions.
They're checking all the boxes.
They seem to know their stuff.
Right. But don't forget about
What about the elephant in the room?
the commission.
The fees, all of that.
Because Real Estate Riches did not shy away from this topic.
They did not, and I'm glad, because it's something that I think a lot of people
People are afraid to talk about it.
are afraid to bring up, or they just kind of
It's awkward.
assume, oh, it's just the standard thing.
Yeah, but it's negotiable.
Is it?
Sometimes, depending on the agent, depending on the market.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
So the podcast mentioned that most agents work on a commission basis.
Right, which is typically around, what, 5 to 6%?
5 to 6% of the sale price.
Yeah, the sale price. So if you're selling $1 million home,
That's a hefty chunk of change.
that's a good chunk of change going.
It is, and that's why it's important to understand
The fees.
how it works, what it covers.
So are there other fees beyond that percentage?
Sometimes there are, and that's why it's crucial to have that conversation up front.
Okay, so don't be afraid to ask.
Don't be afraid to negotiate, to shop around.
Because the cheapest isn't always the best,
Right, exactly.
but the most expensive doesn't necessarily mean
Doesn't guarantee the best either.
the best outcome.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance.
Right, it's about value.
Value for your money,
Yeah.
experience, expertise, their track record.
It all plays into it.
It all factors in, so don't be afraid to have that conversation about money.
Okay, so we've talked about their experience, their credentials, the interview process,
We've covered a lot of ground.
the fees. But Real Estate Riches really kept emphasizing one other thing that's key to a successful
Oh, yeah.
agent-client relationship.
Yeah.
And that one thing that they just kept coming back to in Real Estate Riches was
Communication.
communication. They were like, this is the holy grail.
It is the foundation of a good working relationship with your agent.
Because, I mean, think about it. Buying or selling a home, it's
Oh, my
a
God.
whirlwind of paperwork and deadlines
Phone
and
calls, emails.
negotiation.
Negotiations. A lot. So much is going on.
Yeah.
And you really need someone who's going to keep you
In the loop.
informed every step of the way.
100%. And not just with those generic updates like, oh, we got an offer. You want the details.
Details, yeah.
The why behind things.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Exactly, because real estate jargon can be like a foreign language sometimes.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm like, what
Right.
does that even mean?
You need someone who can translate that into plain English.
Yes, exactly. So
Break it down, make it digestible.
clear emails, maybe even the occasional text message.
Oh, yeah, communication in this day and age, it's got to be multifaceted. It's got to be, yeah, I don't want to be left hanging, wondering what's going on.
You don't want radio silence when you're dealing with something this important.
Exactly. And I like that they pointed out that it's not just about the frequency of communication, it's also about the quality.
The tone, the approach.
Yeah, like, do they make you feel heard?
Are they condescending?
Right.
Or are they actually listening to your concerns?
Because that's important.
It is. It's about building that trust.
Because if you don't feel like you can talk to them,
Exactly.
it's just not going to work.
It's not. It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and they actually suggested something that I thought was really interesting, having a conversation early on about
Oh, yeah. Setting expectations.
communication preferences. Like, how often do you like to be updated? What's the best way to reach you?
Exactly. Because everyone's different.
Right. Some people are like, email me everything.
Right. And some people are like, just call me if the house is on fire.
Right, exactly. And an agent who understands those preferences,
Game changer.
it's going to make the whole process so much smoother.
100%. Less stress, less miscommunication, fewer headaches down the road.
And they even suggested having a system for tracking everything, like deadlines, offers, all the important stuff.
Oh, yeah. Organization is key.
Stay organized.
Yeah, you don't want anything slipping through the cracks.
Right. So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive here into the world of real estate agents, what would you say is the most valuable takeaway from Real Estate Riches?
You know, they gave us so much good stuff to think about. But I think the biggest takeaway for me is that finding the right agent, it's an investment.
It's an investment.
It's an investment in your peace of mind, in potentially getting a better outcome, in avoiding costly mistakes.
Because, like they said, you're not just buying or selling a property.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
It's an emotional roller coaster. And having the right person by your side
Makes all the difference.
can make all the
I
difference.
can make or break the experience.
So don't just jump in with the first agent who offers you a business card.
Exactly. Take your time, do your research, ask the tough questions, and trust your gut.
Absolutely. You have more power in this process than you might think. And knowledge is power.
100%. The more you know, the better equipped you are to make informed decisions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So Real Estate Riches, they gave us a fantastic roadmap for navigating this crazy, often intimidating world of real estate.
They really did. It's a must listen for anyone even thinking about dipping their toes in the real estate waters.
Absolutely. And we want to hear from you. Have you had any memorable experiences with real estate agents? Good, bad, or somewhere in between?
What lessons have you learned along the way? Share your stories with us. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, happy house hunting.